think we both like Bo Nix and Sean Payton. I think we both thought this is going to work. If you got to land somewhere, if you're Bo Nix, this is it. So here they are going into a playoff game. So I want you to go back to your first year with Sean. So Sean's intense. I can't even imagine what playoff Sean is like. Is it different? Is playoff week with Sean, Drew, and you had a lot of them, is he a little different?
You know, I wouldn't say that he's different, but he's definitely going to have something up his sleeve, you know? And I would say, look, he's still relatively new in his tenure there, obviously, you know, only his second year in Denver. But really, I would say this year, based on new quarterback and kind of like the first year in the system where everybody's really kind of, you know, starting to embrace it now and moving forward, like he's going to look at this as, like, there's going to be something special this week or something unique this week that he kind of throws into the preparation that makes the guys feel like this is a little something different.
Yeah.
And the fact that, look, you're going on the road and playing, you know, arguably one of the favorites, you know, and a guy in Josh Allen and an environment like the, you know, Bills Mafia, where like he's going to build that up a little bit, like playing in that atmosphere, in that stadium, with the weather conditions, you know, like all that stuff. He's going to be talking about, you know, yeah, it's on turf, but it's slick, you know, make sure you got the right cleats. And, you know, he's going to have something about like, man, we're going to like be throwing snowballs, you know, into the stands at the fan. Like he's going to build it up to where it's different, but man, it's going to be fun, right? There's going to be the keys to victory. There's going to be locked in and focused. But at the same time, like, there's going to be something different and fun about this week.
All right. I got to be honest. You know, I like a lot of what Drew Brees has to say, but he kind of answered that question like like a teacher just randomly called on him and he wasn't paying attention. You know, and he just had to make something up like on the spot. Sean Payton's gonna be like, you know, it's gonna be the playoffs and it's gonna be slick and the snow, and it was like, did you read the homework assignment? Like, do you even know what subject we're talking about right now? But the first part though that he said that I think is there holds more truth to it, but he didn't really go into it. And that's the whole thing with Sean Payton, and that he hasn't been there a long time. This is only his second year there. And considering how that first year unfolded with Russ and moving on from him and not making the playoffs and all of that, I guarantee you, there were people in the building. I'm not saying the masses, but there were people in the building that were like, Sean Payton really that good of a coach? Man, we're going to move on from Russ and all that money and this and that, right? Like, I guarantee it. There's whispers, because you even heard it in the media. People were like, Sean Payton really that good of a coach? And, you know, he underachieved with Drew Brees, and this is a disaster, and they're moving on from Russell Wilson now, and Bo Nix. And then the season starts, and they lose a couple games, and Bo Nix doesn't look great, and it's like, was Sean Payton ever really special? Or the Denver Broncos are a disaster now. Now they have potentially not a good coach. They have all this, you know, dead cap money. Russ is playing well with the Steelers. You drafted Bo Nix. Like, I guarantee you, there was some of that heat in the building, the fans, the media. And now he leads them to the playoffs with a rookie quarterback for the first time since 2015. That is a true accomplishment. That is Sean Payton being like, yeah, I think I know what I'm talking about. I think I know what I'm doing. I'm the one that said get rid of Russ. I'm the one that said let's go Bo Nix. Let's get Bo Nix. I'm the one that got Bo Nix where he's at right now. You saw how raw that dude was in the first few weeks. What do you think? He just magically started playing good? No. That's me. Like, I'm the captain now. I'm the leader of this team. I'm the leader of this franchise. And me and Bo Nix work. Bo Nix is great, and I'm going to have a huge reason. I'm going to be a huge reason for that. A huge reason for that. Just like Bill and Tom, just like Andy and Pat. That's the way this works. coach quarterback duo. And so now it's like, okay, the confidence is there. And so you are going to have that swagger. You are going to have that momentum. You are going to have that buy-in. I remember when Sean Payton wanted to move on from Russell Wilson, some of the people in the locker room were apparently upset. Well, look what this guy just did right now. No one's going to question what Sean Payton does for the next couple of years in the locker room. No one. This was not an accidental thing. Sean Payton took over a tire fire. Denver Broncos fans know it. They know this was a mess. And it is not easy to go draft a quarterback and then go get to the playoffs. It's not easy. Especially when you're in a division with Harbaugh and Andy Reid, Justin Herbert and Patrick Mahomes. There's no easy wins there. There's no easy wins. The Washington Commanders were able to do it, which is also impressive. They got a special quarterback. They also got to feast on the New York Giants and the Dallas Cowboys. You know, those are some nice gimme wins. And they beat the Eagles the one time when Jalen Hurts, the starting quarterback, wasn't playing. So this was earned. This was hard fought. No doubt. No doubt. And so I think this does build a tremendous amount of confidence. Because in a lot of ways, when you're a new coach like this, you're a coach for a new franchise, you kind of do have to reintroduce yourself. You have to let everyone know why you're special. They know from the outside looking in, but they don't really know it. And then again, when enough time passes, you start to question it a little bit. Like, was it just a good situation in New Orleans? Was that quarterback just this? What about that? I mean, like, look at Bill Belichick. How many people question Bill Belichick right now? 10 years ago, if you said that Bill Belichick was going to be, was going to leave New England, you would say there's not a single team that would not hire him. The Kansas City Chiefs would hire him. Like, everybody would hire him. I don't know if, seriously, I don't think there would be a single team that you would say, nah, they don't want him. Because that would be 2015. Before Mahomes, before Josh, before any of these other guys. Like, if Kansas City was like, oh man, we could move on from Andy and get Bill Belichick. Okay, we'll do that. The Eagles will get Bill. I mean, everyone would get Bill. Now it's like, I don't know. Do we really want Bill Belichick? So there's a little bit of that with Sean Payton and the Denver Broncos. For sure. Some people will absolutely be the truthers and will believe in him, to the end of time. But I guarantee it. And again, we saw it in the media last year and the beginning of this year. And so having that unconditional belief in your head coach from the team perspective and the coaching staff and ownership, that's synergistic. That goes a long way. So I see this snowballing in a positive way, obviously. In a way that really, really, really builds up momentum. And so what are the expectations for Bo Nix in the playoffs? Trouble, man, on both sides. The expectation should essentially be like 0, nothing. Because it's amazing what they've been able to do just, now. And now they have the hardest game out of anyone, I think, in the playoffs, probably, most likely. On the road, Buffalo, Josh Allen, who will probably be the MVP, rookie quarterback. Can't say that they're like, the Broncos don't have this like foundational offensive piece that they could really rely on in a game like this, right? They don't have the Derrick Henry or the Saquon Barkley or whatnot that they could be like, okay, we'll really be able to establish the run to get our quarterback, settled. Like, they don't necessarily have that. They don't have that big body, 100% seasoned veteran weapon that we know we can get him to, and there we go. Like, even Jaden Daniels, the Washington Commanders, like, they got Zach Ertz. Zach Ertz is definitely old. And it's not to say that the Broncos don't have anyone, but, like, Zach Ertz has won a Super Bowl. Like, he's been a true leader. And again, I don't think the expectation should be anything for Jaden Daniels and the Washington Commanders. But like Lamar Jackson has Derrick Henry. Jalen Hurts has Saquon Barkley, A.J. Brown, Devontae. Like, we can go around all these teams that they have, that they can really rely on. But, like, you're really relying on Bo Nix. That's what the Denver Broncos are doing. And that's asking a lot for your first playoff game on the road against top team, the MVP. With a quarterback who's historically great in the playoffs. Has the best touchdown to interception ratio in playoff history. So that's tough. That's tough. The best thing that the Broncos can lean on is their defense. That this is definitely more of a defensive-led team in this moment, at this time of Bo's career. And it's a special defense. So if they can rely on that and slow down Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills offensively, then it's going to be fascinating to see what Bo Nix and Sean Payton have up their sleeves in terms of, can they build off of that in-game momentum? Can they force a 3-and-out on Josh Allen and then march down the field and not kick a field goal, but score a touchdown? Right? Some of those little things that like no, you just got a short field now. You just forced a 3-and-out on the Bills' own 10. And now you're getting the ball at the 45. Like, can you convert that to a touchdown? Or when the Broncos and Bo are off, on their back foot a little bit, and it's 3rd and 12, and you're like, do you convert that down? Do you convert that? And it's a heartbreaker for a 25-yard gain, and you're like, oh my God, right? When the Bills are like, oh my God, we had you at 3rd and 12, and you just had a 25-yard pickup, like what the heck? Those gut-wrenching things. Or is it 3rd and 12, incompletion, now the Broncos punt. Like, that's why this game can go in so many different directions, and it just gets so tiny and narrow, and some of these little things that you really skip over when you're watching the game. Or after the game's all said and done, you kind of like forget, oh man, it would have been a game changer if they just were able to convert that 3rd down. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's all those little things. So that's why I'm excited about this game. Because there's going to be a lot of these little moments that I'm excited to see how they unfold. And again, if you need an example of that, just go back to the first Kansas City Chiefs game. I mean, that game was just many moments that ultimately should have led to them winning that game. Obviously, they didn't, which you could then say all those little moments ultimately led to them to not winning that game. So, always fascinating stuff. Hear yours. What do you guys all think about the Denver Broncos? What do you think the expectations are for Bo Nix and Sean Payton? I'll add that in there as well. Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment. So whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We're building an amazing community here, and I absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to. Something that we're really excited to be a part of. I think we're on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.